So, shooters and reloaders, Fortune Cookie 45LC coming to you from the hot lead zone. And here's the problem. You got your Lee die set for the 30-06, includes the custom factory crimp die for the crimping of bullets in case you want to do that. But it has a resizing die and a bullet seating die. And what we got here is a shell holder and a powder dipper, so we're all ready to go, but we don't want to use a powder dipper. We've got a whole lot of cases here that are all sized and primed and prepped and ready to go. The next step is powder charging, and we want to use our Lee Auto Drum powder measure. But the problem is there's no powder through die to use with this powder measure to charge these cases. With rifle, the neck expansion is done with this same die right here. And there's no need to flare the case mouth to get bullets to seat. So no need for the separate die for that, and therefore there's no powder through feature like we have on pistol die sets. Well, here's a solution. We get a hold of this Lee rifle charging die kit, and what it has in there are powder charging dies where the powder goes through and is made to use with a Lee Auto Drum powder measure. Comes packed in these real nice plastic boxes that are so hard to open that you don't have to worry about them opening accidentally. Anyway, in this kit you have two powder through dies. They don't do any neck expanding, they don't do any mouth flaring, they just do powder charging. So to determine whether you use the short rifle die or the long, the directions simply say that anything up to 1.760 use the short rifle die. Anything from 1.760 to 2.620 use the large. Well, that happens to be the break-off for the 223 Remington, because the 223 Remington is 1.760. So you use the short die for the 223. And then anything between the 223 and 30-06 or 300 Winchester Magnum, which is what 2.620 inches is. Anything in between, use the long die. Now, if you're loading something like 375 Holland Magnum at 2.8 plus inches long, or the 338 Lapua that's almost 2.8 inches long, you're out of luck, because you can't use even the long die. Also, if you need more than 80 grains of charge, then you're out of luck, because the maximum charge the auto drum will throw is 80 grains. Well, it turns out that most of our short magnums, in fact, use less than 80. Let's go ahead and go to the reloading press and charge some 30-06 cases using the long rifle charging die. So here's 25 prepped 30-06 cases, and we've got our powder measures set up with 4831 powder, and I'm using two risers because I want to hear that powder go through, and this gives us a good drop tube effect so that that charge is going to be close to 100% loading density. We want that powder to pack into the case as well. 4831 powder is actually surplus 20mm cannon powder. That's different from 4895, which is the standard small arms powder for the U.S. Army back in the surplus days. So we're charging 58.7 grains. So here, listen for the powder to drop. There you go. Gotta give it time for that powder to drop through. And then when the measure resets itself, you'll hear powder going into the measuring chamber. There. That's the next charge that's in this chamber now. Well, we've got this case charged. There you see. Notice the measure runs smoothly. I'll let you listen to that. No clicks, pops, or chatters. We like that. Here's the last charge thrown, charge number 25. 58.7 is right on what we want. Now they all look pretty uniform, but this one here looks like it might be a little bit more powder in there. Let's go ahead and measure this one and see if that's a heavy charge. We'll come over here, 0, and then put in that one. 58.8, not bad. Aha. Let's take one of those that looks a little bit low and just try that one. So we'll come over here, 0, and then put in that powder charge. I think we're in business. 58.7 is what we want. We're getting 58.8s and 58.7s. Now, of course, I ran about 15 to 20 cases first to settle the powder, and then we got the accurate throws. I'm ready to seat 180 grain bullets. And this is with that Tough to Meter 4831 surplus 20mm cannon powder. This Lee Auto Drum powder measure should even work better using ball powders in the 223.